Now we are going to keep that level up in the background, just so we can hear what's going on. We'll try and get an update on when we are expecting the results. But if we do start talking and we have to stop very quickly, it's because the results are coming through. So stay with us. Do not go anywhere. We will bring you those results as they happen. I just heard somebody kiss into the microphone. I'm fairly sure I heard.
If everyone is ready, we'll now have the results.
There we go. This is it, folks.
We do need a bit of quiet first, and we do need glasses to be out of the church.
So this is David Pipe introducing the results.
Has everyone had a good day? This year, and we say it every year, but this year I think has excelled again. I predicted the weather to be not so good. Well, I got that wrong. I hope the ringing would be better. I think I got that bit right. It's been a really, really enjoyable day from all perspectives. I've certainly enjoyed it. And thanks in no small part goes to the local team who have done an absolutely phenomenal job. I lose count. I'm looking out now. There are a sea of blue shirts, and there are so many of you. And really, thank you to everyone. You've made the day absolutely brilliant for all of us, and we've really, really enjoyed it. Thanks also, of course, to our judging team, who've had a pretty tough day. They've had a tough day sitting on comfy chairs, and when I went up there an hour or so ago, they seemed to have beer in their hands. But I'm assured that was only after all the teams had rung. Nevertheless, it is a tough job, and we're very grateful. Of course, the technical team behind them, there's Dave Richards and Adrian Udall, who have done the sound feed and strikeometer between them, and that's been absolutely fantastic as always. And some more unseen guys. Hopefully a lot of you will have spoken today to Matthew Tosh, Gareth Lawson, who sit in a very small and cramped confines of the room at the back, doing the feed, which goes to a lot of people, probably more people outside of this room than inside of this room, listening to the feed. So a huge thanks to them. Okay, just before the results, and while you're still paying attention, just confirm that next year's Eliminators are on Saturday, March 25th, 2017. They will be at St Philip's Cathedral, Birmingham, Sheffield Cathedral and St Margaret's, Leicester. The final will be at Southwark Cathedral on Saturday, 24th of June. Put these dates in your diary. Okay, it's time to hand over to the Chief Judge. As a ringer, David Hull is top drawer. The same drawer in which he keeps his pants. As I have said, though, judging the contest is a huge responsibility, and the committee is very grateful to David, Tom and Tom for the job they've done today. It's a huge, difficult task, and I'm now going to hand over to David, who will give his deliberations.
Thank you, David. Maybe. Firstly, let me thank the 12-Bell Committee for the opportunity to be Chief Judge for this year's contest and to be able to judge today's final on the historic bells of Aston. I've spent many happy hours in Aston far more in the tower than at the football ground. And we've all very much enjoyed our day here today. We've had a fantastic day in Heather's flat, where we have been very well looked after indeed by Jill Fielden, Jill Postle, and Eleanor Linford, who have catered for our every need. Tea, coffee, beer. Thanks to Simon and all the local organising team for putting on such a splendid day. Secondly, to echo David's thanks to Dave Richards for his technical wizardry. The reams of data that he's been able to supply us with have made our day much easier than it might have been, and I strongly commend the use of the strikeometer, hawk ear, and an audio feed to any future judges of this contest. And finally, thanks to Adrian Udall for his considerable work in providing the audio feed. We toyed with the idea of not using hawk ear at all. The great British public had done such a good job on Thursday that we thought we might just issue them all with a voting slip and get them to put an X next to the band they thought was best. But we decided we had absolutely no confidence at all in them getting the right result. So we went back to plan A. Hawk ear is brilliant at recording absolute error and determining when each bell struck. What it can't have is an opinion on the quality of the teamwork. As with any orchestral performance, understanding between the band members is extremely important. Good ringing is as much about how a team deals with the inaccuracies in their ringing as it is about how individuals striking their bells with absolute precision. Put a band of stars together, and they won't ring to their full potential until they have learnt how to ring together as a team. Human judges can appreciate that teamwork and will always have a place in judging ringing. Today, we have heard good teamwork in abundance. These are not the easiest bells, and we have noticed some indistinctness and rope noise when we were in the tower for the tryout this morning. They are, however, very ringable, and the vast majority of the test pieces have been of a very high standard indeed. There have been some consistent issues with several bells. In particular, a number of bands had problems with variously 4, 5, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And 1, 2... Seriously, those were the 6 bells we picked out. Inevitably, some bands dealt with these issues better than others. We didn't note a single method mistake during the whole day. So if you made one, you did a very good job at hiding it. I need to note that one team started their test piece 90 seconds late. The contest rules say that the judges may penalise them 1 place for this infringement. In the circumstances, we have decided not to invoke this rule. Of course, hawk ear isn't the only piece of technology I've had at my disposal today. Showing me the way and ensuring a smooth journey to the right decision, I've had Tom. My thanks to both Tom Hinks and Tom Griffiths for being my co-judges today. We've had a great day and are in total agreement on the results. Tom Hinks will now deliver some remarks about each band, and then Tom Griffiths will give you the all-important figures.
Thank you very much, David. Okay, so I'm just going to go through each team briefly with a few comments. Team A. We thought the little bells worked together in this piece. The back bells could have been rung a little more positively to give a better structure to the overall piece of ringing. The ringing improved, however, particularly in the final lead, and the peal speed was 3 hours and 31 minutes. Team B. This band began with positive intent and maintained a consistent speed throughout. The band found it harder to sustain the quality of their ringing when they were out of the natural coursing order below the treble. And at times the bells seemed to be falling over each other due to the relentless pace. There were, however, flashes of brilliance. Peal speed, 3 hours and 24 minutes. Team C. Team C, this piece was measured, controlled, and nice to listen to. Many rows were rung very well, although some of the feature rows were not quite as good as we were hoping for, meaning they didn't quite reach the giddy heights that the ringing aspired to. Peal speed was 3 hours and 33 minutes. Team D. This team had a good overall structure, but some disagreement over the speed within that structure earlier in the piece, in the first few leads. There was a tendency for the little bell roll-ups to stretch out a little at the back of the change, and some occasionally inconsistent leading. This was, however, a good, solid performance, and 3 hours and 29 minutes was the peal speed. Team E. This band took a deliberate approach to the bells, showing great discipline in the execution of their game plan. The front three in particular showed real skill and true grit in sticking to the speed. There was a great deal of accurate ringing, but we did feel it was too slow for these bells. The peal speed was 3 hours and 49 minutes. Imagine doing that for 3 hours, 49 minutes. Team F. In contrast, Team F rang at a peal speed of 3 hours 29, which we did feel was a better, more appropriate speed for the bells. We felt that the end of the fifth and the beginning of the sixth lead were rung particularly well. There were some consistent errors, though, including some slow hand-stroke leading. As I said, the peal speed was 3 hours 29. Team G. This piece improved as the band got used to the bells. As with some other teams, there were errors at the front of the change. It was, however, notable that the band coped better with the mixing up of the bells below the treble, and they finished well. Peal speed was 3 hours and 32 minutes. Team H. This team began very well and maintained a high quality of ringing throughout the piece. We enjoyed listening to it. The band encountered the same problems that other teams had with certain bells, but they dealt with this more effectively, not allowing slow or quick bells to then compromise the rest of the change. And the peal speed was 3 hours 28 minutes. Team I. There were some well-struck rows in this piece. However, the band started tentatively, and they struggled when the front and the back bells were working together. They did, however, maintain a consistent speed throughout the piece of ringing. And the peal speed was 3 hours and 31 minutes. That's it from me. I'm going to hand over to Tom, the other Tom, to give the results. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom. Good afternoon, everybody. This is my favourite bit. I'm sure your favourite bit too. Just don't boo, because it encourages the wife. In giving the scores out, we'll have a strike comment to score, and closest nearest to zero is the best. And then we'll give a judge's percentage, and 100% is best. If you get either of those, you'll be carried out and back home by ourselves. So. Team in 9th place with a strikeometer score of 15.9 and a judges' score of 58 is Team I. Guildford, if you didn't hear that. The team placed 8th with a strikeometer score of 14.4 and a judges' percentage of 63 is Team A.
Worcester.
In 7th place, a strikeometer score of 13.7 and a judges' score of 70%, Team B.
Cambridge.
In 6th place, with a strikeometer score of 13.6, excuse me, and a judges' score of 71, Team G.
Exeter.
In 5th place, with a strikeometer score of 13.4 and a judges' score of 73%, Team D.
SRCY.
Okay. Have I still got your attention? In 4th place, with 13.4 for the strikeometer score and a judges' score of 74%, is Team F. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that.
Hold on. 329.
Now then, in 3rd place, with a strikeometer score of 11.7 and a judges' score of 77%, Team E.
College Eve.
Still paying attention? It says pregnant pause here, so in 2nd place, with a strikeometer score of 12.2 and a judges' score of 80%, is Team C.
Bristol.
So the winners of this year's contest, with a strikeometer score of 11.2 and our own score of 85%, is Team H. Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's a huge shock. I mean that Tom could talk coherently for that long. That's brilliant, and what a fantastic day's ringing again, and really many congratulations to Birmingham. That was it was a fantastic piece to listen to. Anyone that heard it, I'm sure, will agree. So please, could the conductor of the Birmingham team come up and receive the trophy? Oh, there he is.
Right, you can have this.
It's a bit heavy, isn't it, really? I'll just raise it. I'd just like to say a few words. I've declined over the years from saying much, but I just wanted to say something today, which is that the introduction of Hawk here has been a fantastic thing for the judges, because it helps them sort of resolve their difficulties of trying to judge for 4.5 hours constantly. And yet also, the advent of Hawk here has created a new kind of ballpark. And we knew today, as the Birmingham band, having every band had the opportunity to have their practice pieces analysed, and the analysis results were fed back. And we knew from that analysis that there were certain things that we had to do to impress Hawk here. And kind of, that's not really the way we all really should be going. Hawk here has been a fantastic gift to us in the sense that it really has helped us in the 12-bar competition. But I implore that we actually use it very, very sensibly. As a Birmingham band today, we didn't really enjoy our ringing in the ringing chamber. We analysed the ringing and we decided that we had to make changes to impress the microphone. And it's nothing to do with Aston. This happens at every tower in this country. And I would say, let's use Hawk here in the future sensibly to help the judges and to help the ringers. Because this is a wonderful contest, and I think it's fabulous the way that we've improved the quality of 12-bar ringing across the country through this contest. But let's not, please, get carried away. But thank you very much, judges, for choosing us as the winner. Thank you.
You're listening to the National 12-Bell Striking Contest with Matthew Tosh.
Well, welcome back. Apologies, we were actually taken off air slightly prematurely due to a full-blown power cut here, but we are back doing a record, and we'll be bringing you an interview with the Birmingham Ringers just once I've recapped the results. So if you missed the final results of the competition, it was Birmingham in first place, Bristol second place, followed by the College Youths, then Melbourne, the Cumberlands, Exeter, Cambridge, Worcester and Guildford. And coming up very, very shortly, in the next few seconds, we'll be talking to Richard Grimmett and Steph Warboys from Birmingham.
The National 12-Bell Final with Matthew Tosh.
And they are here now in the studio with smiles on their faces as well, and kind of sense of relief as well. Welcome and congratulations.
Thank you.
How did that feel to put your hands back on that trophy again?
Well, it's very heavy.
You're not the first one to say that, actually, because there's quite a lot of metal on it, isn't there?
There certainly is. But of course, we were very keen to regain it this year. We lost it last year. We didn't feel as though we had rung it our best last year, but we knew that the College Youths had rung very, very well. And this year was the opportunity for us to prove that we were very good.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to describe, isn't it? How we would have felt with the any of the London bands taking that trophy back through New Street tonight.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
That would not have been good.
There we get the competitive edge coming through. That's exactly what we like there. What's been the... I mean, has there been a sort of sense we've got to get it back throughout the course of the year since last year's competition, or is that something you've built up towards as the year's gone on?
I don't think there's been that. I think that we believe in ourselves, and we've approached the contest very professionally, and we've tried very hard, and we've corrected ourselves as we've gone on, and it's worked well.
Now, Richard, I'm going to pick up on the comments you made during your sort of acceptance speech. Very interesting comments about using hawk ear sensibly. I felt a real sense that you don't want to lose the human edge.
Yes, absolutely right. Hawk ear was always supposed to be an aid to the judges and not a replacement to the judges. The problem is that if hawk ear is being used to judge ringing, then ringing is being measured at exactly the place where the microphone is, and that's not always a good way to do it.
No, and we all know ourselves sometimes, even just the transition when you stand outside the tower and when you go in the tower, what you hear is very different and in different places in the tower. So it's a difficult thing, isn't it? And it's a difficult thing to do as ringers, actually. You've got to sort of adapt to that, and I suppose you put yourself in a position of where the judges are sitting when you're doing your ringing. Is that what you're aiming for?
Well, in the 12-bar contest, we've always tried to measure our ringing from the place where the judges are. And of course, recently, the judges have been listening to hawk ear, so they're listening through a microphone. And every team has been given access, has been given recordings of their ringing from the microphone when they've gone to the tower for a practice. And we've measured that against what we hear inside the ringing chamber. And if there are differences, then we look to vary our bells to fit the belfry microphone.
We did that also, though, didn't we, before there even was hawk ear? I remember when the competition was at South Petherton, and there was a very distinctive delay on the tenor going back down to the bottom of the churchyard. So we did it before hawk ear, but I think there is a particular skill in assessing the data that is actually coming back. But I agree with Richard that it's not the be-all and the end-all. And personally, I think people are making difficult decisions when they're actually beginning to choose bands based on hawk ear results. And as Richard's saying, we know where the microphone is based and all these types of things are, they're difficult. It's a team game. You can't judge everything just against what comes out of that output, but you can adapt as a team and deliver something that improves. And like I said before, I was on a couple of hours ago, we were not good in practice 2 weeks ago. I'm sure Richard would agree. We were not good, but we've delivered it on the day.
You certainly have, yes. And again, congratulations for that. I mean, it's, the feeling actually amongst people in the churchyard and people coming into the studio during the afternoon was that we were firm favourites.
But that's completely down to, can I just at this moment pay tribute to Richard? So ever since David Pipe left us, went to Cambridge, Richard's been in charge of the band. He's led us in an incredibly successful period. As I understand it, this is going to be your last year actually leading us.
Yes, it is.
Thank you for everything that you've done.
Oh, congratulations and commiserations. You'll be able to relax a little bit now. Will you still be ringing for the team?
Well, we'll see how it turns out. If I'm eligible and they want me to ring, that's fine.
If I'm eligible, very good. Very good.
It's always about eligibility, and I will always make myself available if I am eligible and if I'm chosen.
Well, listen, both of you, congratulations. Do pass on our congratulations to the rest of the team. You can really relax now in the knowledge that you've got your trophy back. And the question, of course, is will you be able to hold on to it for next year?
Southwark watches.
There we
Thank
go.
you.
Richard Grimmett and Steph Warboys, thank you very much for coming in and talking to us, taking the trophy back on behalf of Birmingham.
The National 12 Bell Final with Matthew Tosh.
Well, that brings us to the end of another year of interesting, exciting broadcasting from the National 12 Bell Striking Contest. I've got a few thank yous to say. Thank you especially to all of the St Martin's Guild ringers who have helped make today possible and also made us feel incredibly welcome here at Aston Parish Church. And a huge thank you also to the volunteers who are from the church who've been providing all the refreshments and drinks and a superb cream tea this afternoon. If you've been listening to me earlier, you'd have heard the creams and the teas are all being sloshed around. Very, very good. Technical supervision and assistance from Dave Richards in the tower and Adrian Udall, of course, helping get the sound down to us and out to you across the world, wherever you've been listening. And I must thank as well Robert Convey, who has been coordinating guests in and out of the studio, which was going well until we had our power cut at the end of the day. Finally, a huge thank you to Gareth Lawson, who's been by my side all day and last night doing all the technical checks as well. This show would not work without him. He really is the brains behind the exercise. I just do the talking, which is something I am told I'm rather good at. So thank you, all of you, for listening. All your comments, all your interactions online, whether it's been by email or via social media. We've really enjoyed having your company, and we hope that you'll be able to join us again next year when we aim to bring you the broadcast from Southwark. So from me, this is Matthew Tosh saying a big goodbye and a big thank you. We're going to play you out with The Ringing from Birmingham.
The National 12 Bell Final with Matthew Tosh. The National 12 Bell Final with Matthew Tosh.